Hey there folks, in this video I'll be showing you a fantastic fighter archer build for Baldur's Gate 3. It's not just effective but also really easy to use. You'll be raining arrows down on your foes, dishing out some serious damage and taking down monsters from a distance. So let's jump in. For race choices, I recommend prioritizing any race with dark vision. This ensures that you won't be hindered when fighting in a dark environment, like the Underdark. My top choices are the Half-Elf, Dwarf, and Githyanki. Of course, feel free to pick the race you like, as it won't significantly impact your gameplay. Choosing the fighter class immediately gains proficiency in all weapons and armor. This means you can build a wide range of weapons and wear any armor you prefer. Fighters also gain second wind, which allows you to restore a portion of your hit points using a bonus action. For fighting style, we're choosing the archery that grants a +2 bonus to your ranged weapon attack rolls, making your attacks easier to hit your target. When it comes to ability points, the two primary attributes to focus on are dexterity and constitution. Setting both of these 2 to 16 at character creation will provide a solid foundation for this build. Dexterity directly impacts your range attack and damage rolls, armor class, and initiative. Constitution affects your hit points and constitution saving throws, which is also equally important, and you can do what you want with your remaining ability points. But a small investment in strength can increase your jump distance and carrying capacity, providing utility outside of combat. Wisdom scores can improve your saving throws against spells and effects that attempt to control your character. Level 2 brings us a significant power boost with the action surge. This allows you to take an extra action during your turn, essentially doubling the number of hits you can make in one turn. And when you reach level 11, you can make 6 attacks in one turn using your action surge. And investing 2 levels into fighter class for action surge is also a powerful option for multiclassing. At level 3, we're going with the Battle Master subclass. This opens up a set of combat maneuvers that are powered by your superiority dice. These dice start as D8s and later become D10 at fighter level 10, and adding the damage to the output of your Battle Master maneuvers. Additionally, you regain all of your superiority dice after a short rest, which means you can basically use these abilities in every combat encounter. You get to select 3 combat maneuvers from this list. My first recommendation is Disarming Attack, which deals an additional 1d8 damage and possibly force your target to drop their weapon. Another fantastic choice is the Pushing Attack. With this one, you can shove your target back 4.5 meters. And if you position them right, you can potentially send them into a chasm, taking them out of the fight. The trip attack is also a solid choice. It can knock your opponents prone, giving your melee characters advantage on attacking them. However, there are many other great options available as well. Feel free to experiment and choose the ones that suit your style. At level 4, we're taking the Sharpshooter feat, which reads as when you attack with a ranged weapon, you have a -5 penalty on your attack rolls, but you do an additional 10 damage. Of course, there are many ways to offset this penalty. For example, you can buff your character with spells like Bless, or getting to high ground can also provide a +2 bonus to your attack rolls. And don't forget that your archery fighting style also grants you a +2 bonus to your ranged weapon attack rolls. With all this in play, the penalty from the Sharpshooter becomes less of a concern, and the additional 10 damage becomes a fantastic asset. At level 5, you hit a major milestone, gaining the extra attack. You can now make 2 attacks in one turn instead of 1. Moving on to level 6, fighters also get to choose an extra feat. For this build, we're going for the ability score improvement to boost our dexterity to 18, and if you already took the hex here, you'll be reaching like 20. Level 7, you got another superiority dice. and you get to choose 2 more combat maneuvers. The great thing about these combat maneuvers is that most of them add the dice to their damage output, so feel free to choose what best fits your playstyle. At level 8, take the ASI to further boost your dexterity if you haven't already maxed it out at 20. At this point, I want to show you some exciting weapon combinations that can really bolster this build. First, we have the Titan String Bow. This fantastic bow adds your string modifier to the damage output, making it amazing for a high string archer build. To achieve this, you can either chuck a Hill Giant String Potion to set your string to 21, or simply equip the club of Hill Giant String. This club sets your string score to 19 and you gain an extra 4 damage with each shot you land. This combination works incredibly well together. The Titan String Bow can be purchased from the trader Bram in the Zandram hideout, but it's only available after you completed the Find the Missing Shipment quest. As for the club of Hill Giant String, you can find it on top of the Arcane Tower in the Underdark by breaking the stew. And here's a little tip. Before you dive into the main quest in the Temple of Shar during Act 2, you can still revisit locations from Act 1. So if you haven't already got these items, take the opportunity to retrieve them before you progress further into the game. At level 9, we gain Indomitable. This ability allows you to reroll a saving throw when you fail one and use the new result instead, which can save your rest by giving you another shot at resisting harmful effects. At level 10, your superiority dice becomes 1d10, offering even more damage potential. You also have the opportunity to choose another 2 combat maneuvers. As always, choose the one that aligns with your playstyle. Level 11 brings a mighty upgrade for all fighters, the improved extra attack. This allows you to make 3 attacks in one single turn instead of the previous 2. This not only amplifies your damage output, but also provides more opportunities to apply your special maneuvers. Your combat maneuvers can be particularly devastating when you have 3 attacks at your disposal, and you might take out some small bosses in one single turn. At level 12, you can either continue leveling up as a fighter to gain another feat, or take a different path into the rogue class. Going with the rogue class grants you access to sneak attack, which deals an additional 1d6 damage when you have advantage on your targets or there's an ally within 1.5 meters of your target. Additionally, you can select extra skills to become proficient in. If you need someone who can pick locks with high dexterity and sleight of hand expertise, you'll be really good at lockpicking and pickpocketing. And now let's talk about the gear. You don't necessarily need the fanciest endgame pieces. In fact, most of what you need can be found before Act 3, making this build come together really early. For helmets, I recommend the Grimskull Helm. It's a fairly nice choice because it provides the Hunter's Mark spell, adding an extra 1d6 damage to the target you mark, which can be used once per long rest, as long as you maintain concentration. Additionally, the Grimskull Helm offers protection against critical hits, making you more resilient in combat. To obtain this item, you'll need to go to the Adamantine Forge and defeat the Golem Grim. When it comes to cloaks, there are just not many options that synergize perfectly with this spell, so feel free to use what you have available. As far as armor goes, the Armor of Agility is your best bet. It allows you to add your full dexterity modifier to your armor class instead of the usual 2. This means you become remarkably tanky, even though you might not require as much protection as melee-focused characters. Additionally, the Armor of Agility grants a +2 bonus to all your saving throws, which is incredibly useful when it comes to maintaining concentration on spells or resisting various effects and spells. You can purchase this item from the merchant at the Stormshore Armory during Act 3. For gloves, you can straight up use the Glove of Archery, gaining a +2 damage bonus to your ranged weapon attacks, making it a really solid choice. Another option is the Dark Justicia Gauntlet. They deal an additional 1d4 necrotic damage with your attacks. As for boots, they just have fewer exciting options compared to gloves, so feel free to use what you have. When it comes to accessories, the Brewmother's Revenge is a great choice. It adds an additional 1d4 poison damage to a weapon attacks for 2 turns each time you receive healing. To maximize the effect of the Brewmother's Revenge, consider pairing it with a Ring of Regeneration. This ring heals you 1d4 hit points at the beginning of your turn and also activates the poison damage, making for a perfect combination. You can purchase the Ring of Regeneration from the Sorcerer's Sundry. For weapons, I still recommend using the Club of Hill Giant String and the Titan String Bow combination. But if you want to do a bit min-max, you can chug a potion of Cloud Giant String, which sets your string to 27, and then you have a plus 8 damage to each of your attacks. This is really strong. But playing this way will consume a lot of potions, which requires you to do the hoardings. If you have a hard time doing that, just use the Club of Hill Giant String instead. You might also want to consider the Death Shot. This bow lowers your critical hit threshold by 1. Paired with a dagger that has the same effect, you'll increase the chance of your critical hits. Furthermore, this bow also increases your attack rolls by doubling your proficiency to the attack rolls, which makes your attacks a lot easier to hit your target. And the fly ability from your lesser power is fairly helpful for this bow when you need to gain advantage by reaching high ground. Being elevated also gives you plus 2 bonus to your attack rolls. And when it comes to combat, first, you want to cast Hunter Smart on your target to gain that extra damage boost. Then it's time to let the arrows fly. For regular encounters, just focus on your basic attacks. With Hunter's Mark and other bonus damage, you swiftly take down your targets. When you're up against formidable monsters, that's when your combat maneuvers comes into play. Try using them multiple times in a row to get rid of any foes you want. Additionally, don't forget that you have the Action Surge, allowing you to take another full set of actions in a single turn. To take it to the next level, get yourself Hasten, and you'll be attacking many times in one turn. And that's it for today's video. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to hit the like button and consider subscribing to our channel for more exciting builds, gaming tips, and strategies. I'll catch you guys in the next video.